Another one down. Now, how to celebrate? Maybe have a drink. Well, no shit, dumbass. Jesus. Okay. What are we having? Big chicken dinner. My military peeps know what's up here. Big chicken dinner it is then. Yeah. Good evening, artists and alcoholics, mates and maniacs, aficionados and assholes, and everybody else. Welcome to yet another iteration of Before the Mast, a show where I demonstrate what it's like to be a crazy bastard who talks to themselves. I've been told you're only crazy if you answer yourself. Oh, really? Before we get on with this insanity, hit like and subscribe. I need your affirmation. I'll know if you subscribed, because my subscribers will go from 116 to 117. That's fucking math, baby. And if you find this video ridiculous and interesting, or ridiculously interesting, share it with your friends who either enjoy imbibing with you or listening to crazy sea stories, or both. Or people you might want to passive-aggressively punish. And with that, let's prepare to circumnavigate the Globe Bar. Tonight we're making a cocktail from my own demented mind, the Big Chicken Dinner. For this drink, you will need bourbon. I'm using Buffalo Trace. Cointreau. I'm using Cointreau. And Demerara syrup. I'm using Lieber & Company. C, B, C, D. Big Chicken Dinner. Now, I'm not being sponsored by any of these companies. But, if any of you want to sponsor me, call me. We can work something out. You will also need pineapple juice. I'm using Dole. And lemon juice. In the military, Big Chicken Dinner is synonymous with bad conduct discharge, which is what you'll get if you piss off the wrong person. Or you make a douchebag decision like, I don't know, being a fucking thief. But we'll get to that. First, let's plate this up. You'll need a cocktail shaker with ice and a rocks glass with ice. Let's start. And now, shake it. Like a stripper whose baby needs a new pair of shoes. You know you're good when it starts. And there it is. The big chicken dinner. Bottoms up. Oh, you know, for a drink that came out of my own head, this is actually quite good. It's not too sweet. You get a little bit of citrus. That Demerara syrup really rams its flavor in, but without being too sweet. The bourbon in the Cointreau is delectable. I might have to steal another one of these. Cheers, Dicks. Speaking of stealing, sit back and listen to the story about that time that I got my arch nemesis kicked out of the Navy. Now hold up. That makes me sound like a vindictive and petty individual. I am. Or can be. Sometimes. Often. The guy we're talking about here I introduced back in episode 39, the little boats that couldn't. I mean, here's a guy that almost got me turned into a pancake. A flattened Burke's pancake. A Burke's cake, if you will. Yeah, and then he made me write a 500-word essay for my trouble. But that's already been discussed. What I'm telling you here took place about a year later. There was a serial thief aboard the USS Peleliu, a crafty individual who learned how to hack into the ship's ATM system and steal money from the accounts of the people that used the ATM before him. Sailors were afraid to pull money out of their ship's account for fear that the ATM bandit would strike. That's foreshadowing for the dimmer of you out there. I was now a quartermaster third class. I'd been away from the deck force for more than 6 months, and yet this particular bosun mate always managed to find me in a ship of 2,000 sailors and 3,000 Marines just to harass me. Little did any of us know that his uppance was coming. Yeah. One day I went to use the ship's ATM to pull out cigarette and gidunk money. I found BM2 in line and almost considered not getting in line because I didn't want to deal with it. But I really needed cigarettes. Well, I got in line, and immediately he says to me, "What are you doing, cocksnot?" Dick. Well, we traded insults back and forth until it was finally his turn, so his attention went elsewhere. He got his money, and I went up and got my money. A couple hours later, there I was on the starboard troop walkway, enjoying smoking my cigarettes and drinking a Coke, all fat, dumb, and happy. Then who should appear but two master-at-arms? You know, one of them was the guy that sent me to captain's mast a year and a half earlier. A short little bag of dicks who walked around like he had a horse cock stuck in his ass. That's a story for a different time. Those guys could ruin a wet dream. Petty Officer Burks, they said, come with us. It wasn't an invitation for a romantic seaside stroll. I tried to think of what I possibly could have done. Did I call the wrong person a fucking asshole? Again? Did some stool pigeon spy on me in Tijuana? Or see me underage drinking in downtown San Diego? I had no idea. We went down in the Master-at-Arms shack on the port side of the forecastle. They sat me down, closed the door, and they left me just sitting there, judging my own past actions while they scribbled something in pads. This was back when there was still paper in paperwork. Finally, just when I had thought I might have an excuse for every single infraction I had for the past year and a half, they looked up and one of them asked, "You used the ATM on the mess decks about 3 hours ago, yes?" Yes. Now I was confused. Do you know who was in line in front of you at the ATM? Yeah, I said. BM2 redacted. The MA, he seemed surprised. Are you sure it was BM2 redacted? Yeah, I'm positive it was BM2 redacted. Would you be willing to swear to that at Captain's Mast? Thinking I was personally getting sent to see the man. Again, I affirmed I would. And with that, they dismissed me. I had a couple days to contemplate and ponder what was happening. My first class came down and told me to put on my whites because I was going before the mast. Oh, what joy. I was literally marched up to the forecastle by the Master-at-Arms and instructed to stand at attention by myself behind none other than BM2 redacted, who was also in his dress whites. It was here where I finally realized what was going on. So let me break it down for those of you who fast forward my videos like it's porn. BM2 redacted was the ATM bandit. And me? I was sent to the man that BM2 redacted was the ATM thief. ATM. Ass to mouth. No, man. Sick fuck. Anyway, the captain, Captain Gary Jones, best captain I've ever had, came in like King goddamn Henry VIII, and everyone came to attention. If we were already at attention, we just went to super attention. He said, BM2 redacted. You've been accused of stealing from your shipmates by fraudulent ATM action. Fraudulent ass to mouth action. BM2 started making excuses. He had a wife. He had a car with payments of 50% APR. He told the CO, and this is a direct quote that I'll never forget, I can take half a month's pay times 2 and restriction, but I really can't afford to be busted down to third class. And the captain, well, he passed judgment. BM2 redacted, started crying. The skipper sternly said, "Hold it together, boats." CO looked at me and asked if this was the guy in front of me at the ATM. "Oh, yes, sir." And found him guilty and gave him 45 and a BCD. That's 45 days restriction and 45 days extra duty with a bad conduct discharge. I stood there, mouth agape, like some poorly paid porn actress. My punt boat nemesis was being kicked out of the Navy. And yet I felt dirty. I needed a shower. Hell, I deserved a shower without shower shoes. I mean, snitches get stitches, right? Well, but apparently, nobody was mad. Except for BM2 redacted. Back in the day, you had iron on rank. Not this sew-on bullshit that the new Navy's come out with. But if you got busted, you had to take a Sharpie. I'm not kidding. You had to take a Sharpie and write void across your rank in big letters. A few days later, I was on the mess decks. There was BM2, now BM3, redacted, sitting on the mess decks. I went up to say I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be a schoolyard snitch. And he says to me, "Don't talk to me." And I said, "Cool. See you on the block, I guess." And that is how I got my nemesis kicked out of the Navy. What's the moral of this mess? Don't get in line in front of Burke's at the ATM. Cheers, dicks.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises. Early in the morning, put him in the longboat until he's sober, put him in the longboat until he's sober, put him in the longboat until he's sober. Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises.
What is this, 5? Whatever. Well, finally, damn it, I'm gonna need another one. God bless America. Oh, God save the king. If I had a hammer, I'd nail you in the morning. I'd nail you in the evening, all over your ass. Just call me shithead in the morning, shithead. Just call me dick before I leave, baby. I'm a fucking classy individual. So much class. All right. That time I did it all without even turning on the camera. Maybe this time I'll get it right. It's on. Microphone. Cigarette. Drink. Here we go.